Let's discuss continuous random variable. What is continuous random variable? Consider this statistical experiment which measures how long it takes for an office worker to get to work from home. Maybe past experience show that it's about 30 minutes. If you consider time to workplace as a random variable, it will be some numbers, but it will be close to 30 minutes, but we don't know exactly what. Depending on the traffic, it can be 25 minutes, 35 minutes, or sometimes a terrible situation you cannot go. Okay, there are all kinds of possibility of a real number. We call this is continuous random variable. In this situation, probability of each point is meaningless. That's zero. Okay. Usually, in case of a continuous random variable, we are curious about probability on some interval. For example, suppose you have a continuous random variable, continuous data, and you have somehow histogram like this. Okay. And if you look at this, maybe you can answer this kind of question. What is the probability x is in between 30 to 60? Well, you may just 30 to 60 add this probability, right? It's a 70. But if I ask what is the probability of 35 to 40, then this table is enough. It's not enough. You may increase the interval size like this. Suppose you extend this idea, you keep narrow the interval, it may close to some kind of function, mathematical function. We call this is probability distribution function of a continuous random variable. If we call probability of distribution is fx, in that case, all the area under this mathematical function should be 1. It is the similar concept that in case of discrete probability, if you add the whole probability, it should be 1. It's an extension of that idea. Also, what is our interest is to calculate probability of a certain interval. It is a integral. This is a general concept of continuous random variable. Well, as a simple case, let's consider the pizza delivery time is in between 10 to 30 minutes. In a mathematical notation, it looks like this. The 10 to 30 minutes, that means the density function, probability density function, it looks like this. Because the distance here, 30 to 10 is 20. And if the height is 1 over 20, whole this area is 1. Therefore, this is a correct density function. We call this is uniform distribution between 10 and 30. If I ask you probability between 15 to 20, the shaded area, you may consider this area. This area is the width is just 5, height is 120, therefore it's 5 over 20. That's the way of calculation of probability in case of a continuous random variable. Next lecture, we'll discuss the most important continuous random variable called normal. We'll discuss normal distribution.